Hi, this is Nitin Chora with Nitin360.com. I'm here with Jeff Cavalier from Major League Insider Training.com. And Jeff, in fact, is a celebrity physical therapist. Jeff has trained the Mets for 3 years in '06, '07, and '08. He's been featured on the cover of Advance magazine in August 2008. And Jeff, thanks for speaking with us today. You're welcome. Well, I have a question for Jeff, and a lot of therapists send me emails with this particular question. How do you become a physical therapist for a major team like the Mets?
I think you first have to identify what sport you're passionate about. I've loved baseball ever since I was a little kid. So in terms of a physical therapist point of view, you want to be able to understand the biomechanics of the sport. You want to be able to understand the physical demands of the sport and what the common types of injuries are that you're going to associate with those sports. Obviously in baseball, it's elbows, shoulders a lot of times. So you want to be able to have a firm understanding of that, because when the opportunity does come about where you get into that situation where you might be in a job interview or trying to get a job with one of these teams, you have to know. They're going to test you and they're going to try to find out what your knowledge is. So that has to be there. That's a given. But in terms of things that you can do now, I mean, again, read everything you can about your sport. But if there's so many affiliate teams, even at the minor league level, that are around all of us, wherever we live. They're within at least 50 miles. I'm sure you could probably find some affiliate.
Sure.
Get your name known. Get it known that you're interested in being there. Because the thing is, for physical therapists, is a huge opportunity right now. All teams have athletic trainers.
True.
But physical therapists, I was one of only 7 when I spent my time with the Mets. So there's a growing demand, and more team owners are realizing that this is something that we need. It's different than what the services athletic trainer can provide. And I believe that within the next 5 years, there'll be a PT on every single Major League Baseball team.
And if you're a PT, would you ask PTs to design fitness programs as well, and not just restrict themselves to injuries? What role do you think the PT can play?
Well, I mean, my main interest was in prehab more than it was in rehab. I mean, I've always been a more proactive guy that thinks if you get somebody on the right stuff now before they're injured, we can prevent a lot of these preventable injuries, especially when you're talking about an athletic population. There's a lot of everything's overused primarily. So if you're teaching somebody how to use their muscles, their joints in the right, correct way, biomechanically, you could prevent a lot of these things. So yeah, there's a lot more proactive prehab things that you should be aware of, but you do need to have the rehab knowledge of the specific demands of your sport.
Right.
Because they are going to come up in terms of job interviews and that type of thing.
Are there specific courses that you recommend PTs can do, or would it really depend on the experience level of the PT and whether they've played those sports in college?
Yeah, I think it's the experience level. I think, again, it's your knowledge of the sport from a passion standpoint. And are you passionate about that sport? Because believe me, in MLB, if I wasn't passionate about what I did, I could never stay there, because we had 162 games in about 180 days.
Wow.
So it's every single day. It's, the hours are from, a night game at 7 o'clock at night, I was there at 11 o'clock in the morning. So from 11 in the morning until around 12 o'clock at night. So you really have to love what you're doing. Different sports have different demands. I have a friend who's in the NFL, and those guys only have one travel day, 8 times a year. They go away on Saturday, and play their game on Sunday, and they come home Sunday night.
Wow.
So, and that only happens 8 weeks out of the 16-week schedule. So that's pretty simple compared to baseball being 162 games on the road all the time. So you have to understand the demands of your sport from that too. Would you want to be comfortable and work in that environment? Without burning out.
And how do you recommend that a physical therapist approach a team and get involved with them? I mean, you can't just walk up to a team. You'd need to contact maybe the manager, or how would they initiate contact?
Not the manager. Generally, it would be like the general manager of that organization. Yeah. So if we're talking about a minor league team, go to the general manager, get his contact information, and say, I'm aware that. And also try to understand what is their medical roster currently. Do they already have a PT? If they already have a PT, they're more likely not just going to take somebody off the street. But if they don't have a physical therapist currently, you can just briefly try to sell them in a letter on the benefits a PT adds to the training staff. Now, how do you complement what's already there, and how do you enhance what's already there? And believe me, I'm telling you, there's more people that will be receptive to that, because in the competitive environment of sports, and particularly pro sports, any opportunity that a general manager gets to improve his team and the likelihood of them winning, and especially in the major leagues, and we had with the Mets, we always ran somewhere between like 120 and 150 million dollar payroll. It only costs a fraction of that to hire a physical therapist to try to protect those assets. You know, so for them it makes a lot of sense, you know, from a business standpoint and a health.
And then would a physical therapist who works for a sports team like that expect to be paid more than the average therapist? Because the average therapist makes about $75,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there again, we thought there's 30 physical therapists in Major League Baseball. So you're talking about only 30 positions up for grabs. So they're compensated, you know, accordingly for sure.
Excellent. Well, thanks, guys. And if you want to check out Jeff's website, Jeff, tell us a little bit more about your website.
The website is Major League Insider Training, and what I did is basically put together a training manual for young baseball players, really high school age and college age, who are aspiring to be in the big leagues. This is a program that covers every single thing that they would need to know in terms of strength and conditioning and flexibility, and really bringing it all into one step-by-step package for them to get there. This is coming from a guy that's been in the big leagues and has worked with these guys, so that's really where I got all the information from. It's actually endorsed by two of the top major leaguers in the game, and David Wright and Johan Santana. So
That's
it's got some good backing.
Well, I strongly recommend you guys check out Jeff's website. Jeff, thanks for your time. Appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.